Okay, good day, guys. Welcome back to another Bitcoin update. Look, we've got a few things to talk about today, and I want to show you something quickly just before we get into it. I showed you yesterday at the start of yesterday's video. I'll show you again at the start of this video today. We've got an exclusive promotion with the Bitget exchange here, exclusive campaign until the 27th of April, so in 6 days. I'm rewarding 50 USD to 5 random users that I will pick who sign up to the Bitget exchange using my link. I'm also giving 1,000 USD to one user who trades the most, and I'll be giving 100 USD to the 5 most active traders. So that's a total of, I think, what is it right here? 550, 1,750 USD I'll be giving away based on that. So sign up to Bitget using my referral link in the description below, and you can get access to that promotion and hopefully get some money. So now we've got that out of the way, let's get into the video. We've seen some interesting stuff on Bitcoin last 24 hours. I mentioned in yesterday's video, or the day before I should say, that we'd probably go downwards towards 28.6k and potentially flip that region for support before going upwards again. I said the worst case scenario would be that we go all the way downwards to 25.2k, flip that level and then go up from there. It looks as though we've lost 28.6k, but I'm not willing to say it's completely lost yet. Okay, it's not completely lost yet at all, actually. And the reason why it's not lost yet is because we haven't seen a weekly candle close, and it's a very important weekly chart level. And with weekly chart levels, you need weekly candle closes, of course. We can't be relying on a daily candle to confirm a breakdown below a weekly chart level. In 2 days and 21 hours, we will be seeing a weekly candle closing. And if it closes below 28.6, then we would have lost 28.6k. And from that point, I will make the prediction that we will go downwards further for a retest of 25.2k. It's a very simple premise. At this point in time, I'm still, it's not like I'm maintaining that we're going to hold 28.6k. I'm just, you know, there's no clear thing here. There's no clear direction. We haven't broken down below it. We haven't seen the weekly candle, and we haven't, you know, held it particularly because we're currently below it. So it's kind of in a gray area right now. But I want to make that very clear. Okay, so why do I think? Okay, first and foremost, why do I think that Bitcoin needs to see a correction? Why did I originally even think that in the first place? Because remember, I made that video up here at like 29k, something like that. I said something 25.5, 29.5 or something like that. I said Bitcoin needs to go down. It's either going to go down here, best case scenario, hold 28.6k. I did not say that was certain in the slightest. I said we would see that at the minimum, we would see that, and at the maximum, we would see 25.2. And I said that because the TA was looking bearish, right? We had just rejected at that point in time from this critical level on the daily RSI. I've got this red line here showing you 73 on the daily RSI has been a critical level for Bitcoin that has rejected us on many occasions, stemming all the way back here from 2021, really. We rejected from that. We saw a double top on the RSI and a bearish divergence in the RSI where we had a flat resistance level on the RSI while the price was rising. That classifies as a bearish divergence. You don't need to be seeing a downtrend in the RSI for a bearish divergence. All you need to be seeing is the price action going higher while the RSI is flat or down. And then we saw at the same time as well a stochastic RSI top. But I suppose the good news is we're seeing now is that, you know, the stochastic RSI has reached almost the bottom. It's almost reached an oversold territory. And this is good news because what this means is that we're reaching oversold territory as we reach the major support zone given to us by this uptrending yellow line stemming from October. That's a pretty big deal. I'll also pitch to you this, right? We have not lost the 50 EMA yet. The 50 EMA is this blue line on the screen here. And generally speaking, after we lose the 50 EMA, that's when we see the bulk of the correction. If you look over here in the places I'm circling, every time we lose that blue line, that's when we see the bulk of the correction. We haven't lost that blue line yet. In fact, we're still maintaining that blue line. And so long as we're above that blue line, we're actually in pretty decent territory. We're still in a vicious uptrend, to be honest, until we lose that blue line. If we do lose that blue line, I would expect us to correct all the way down to 25.2. I am in no way, shape, or form worried about the state of the market on a macro scale at this point in time. We have seen a massive move to the upside from 15.4k, a move that pretty much doubled. It was a 2x actually, it's exactly a 100% move. We saw one of the most bullish Q1s in Bitcoin's entire price history, right? To see a correction here, even if it's down to 25.2k, which in my opinion would be the worst case scenario, that's a 19% correction, 18% correction after a 100% move, right? You can't be worried about the market in seeing that. If you're worried about the market at that point, you're literally just being biased, right? What I will say is this, okay, and this is another thing as well. On the occurrence that we did go down to 25.2, which is a very real possibility, and I said it was a very real possibility in a video a couple of days ago. I never discounted that possibility at all. What I will say is that if we do go down, we will find very, very strong support. And we're finding support down there if we go down there, which we'll find out in 2 days after the weekly candle, through the bull market support band, as well as the fact that 25.2k is actually, and as you guys might already know, is actually the top of the range we saw from June 2022 through to over here in February 2023, right? That line I just drew is 25.2k. That's the top of the range. Look at where we found the top in these peaks here. Even over here, we go down there. That's a great flip of that range, and we can give a big check there, and we should be able to go upwards from that point in time. That would be actually a bullish retest, even in the worst case correction, in my opinion. Worst logical case correction. Of course, there's a chance we go lower than that. But even in that, worst case scenario that I'm outlining here for us to be bullish still, it's still going to be very bullish, right? 25.2k flip would not be a bad thing at all. I think the concern would stem from the fact that we'd seen a fake out above the weekly candle close, above 28.6k. That would be the main concern. And I'll show you why. Look, we've been following quite closely what happened here in 2019. We had a rounding bottom, a move to the upside, 4 doji candles, and then a break above the major level that was deemed to be the bull market support zone. We saw the exact same pattern here, okay? We saw a rounding bottom, we saw a move to the upside, 4 doji candles, a break above the horizontal, support zone for the bull market. And if we're not going to follow this up with a move further to the upside like we did in 2019, then we're breaking away from a 2019 fractal, and that's not ideal because that leads us into an unknown territory. And it's not necessarily bad things being unknown territory. I mean, to be fair, the bear market over here in 2015, 2016 did not look anything like the bear market over here in 2019, 2020. So it does stand to reason that we could be seeing a unique structure for the bull market, just like we saw in the last 2 cycles, while maintaining in the entire 4-year cycle theory. That's definitely a logical thing we could do. But just because we can do something like that, it doesn't make it ideal. We do want to be seeing, ideally, a structure following something like 2019, because obviously the more predictability we have, if we're following a fractal like that, the better it is for us, because we can predict easier, right? More predictability equals easier profit making, basically, and that's what we want to see. So I suppose the real cause for concern right now isn't whether Bitcoin's healthy, or isn't whether Bitcoin's going to die and go back into a bear market. The real cause for concern right now is, why did we see a weekly candle close above 28.6k if we're just going to lose it? And that's something we're going to have to answer in 2 days and 21 hours if we close below it. As I said, I don't think at this point in time there's enough evidence to be so sure of the fact that we will lose it. It would make sense given the massive uptrend and the lack of correction we've seen. But look, we've still got support here. I mean, look at the daily chart. We can see that we've drawn this yellow line in a fashion of which is reasonably valid. That's an uptrending line stemming back from October, a 6-month long support line. And if we look at the 4-hourly chart, how that line's progressing, we're still kind of holding it. I mean, we've seen a fake out below it before, and as of right now, we could be seeing a fake out below it again. It could still be holding. But ultimately, as I said before, I wouldn't be overly shocked if we drop it to the downside right now. I just don't think we've seen the actual breakdown yet. So I think it's too early at this point to say, oh, we've broken down from 28.6k, we're going to 25.2. When we actually do break down below it at the weekly candle close, if we do that, that's when I'll say, okay, 25.2k next. It's too early at this point. It's still in a gray area. And we can support this claim by looking at total cryptocurrency market cap, right? Total cryptocurrency market cap is basically at support here. If we're looking at the support zone from 1.15 trillion, we're still in that support zone. We're still in that green box. So total cryptocurrency market cap hasn't broke down. Bitcoin's on the verge of breaking down. It hasn't necessarily broke down yet. That, to me, looks like Bitcoin is still on support. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily lost yet. But it definitely is on thin ice, that's for sure. And, the Ethereum chart doesn't look particularly good. I'll tell you that right now. We had a, uptrending support line on Ethereum, a fresh one that was being formed here from March 27th, and we lost that the other day, and we're seeing a resistance support flip from there. So, again, I'm not saying by any means that Bitcoin's going to hold this level, but I think that in terms of objectively looking at the charts for what they are, it's too early to say it's lost. And I'm still saying what I said before. Even in the worst case scenario that we do go down to 25.2k, I'm still not worried. Lose 25.2k, that's when I'll start being worried. And that's when we can start de-risking. And I'll tell you that right now. And that's not something I'm going to be changing my opinion on. If we lose 25.2k, say on a weekly candle, de-risk, get out, right? It's not worth staying in after that point because we're re-entering the bear market range. We're re-entering the entire range we saw here for, what was it? 9 months, a 9-month range of sideways consolidation and downwards. You don't want to be holding Bitcoin while we re-enter that range. So 25.2k, potentially weekly candle, maybe daily candle, we'll see. Depends on what the structure looks like. is kind of the breakdown zone. If we lose that, we're out. You know, not. It's not like we're out of the. Look, it's hard. It's hard to say. If we lose that level, you should be de-risking. That's what you can say. But what I will say is this, though. Macro is still looking pristine, okay? 4-year cycle is still perfectly still perfectly valid, sorry. And what we've seen is basically a monthly candle cross on the RSI between the 14 moving average on the monthly candle and the RSI line itself. That's a bullish cross. We've seen that bullish cross 3 times in Bitcoin's price history, and we've seen a bearish cross 2 times in Bitcoin's price history. And out of those 5 times, each time has brought us a significant pump or correction with a 228% gain, a 5,700% gain, and a 550% gain, and then a correction of 79% and 38%. Every time we see this cross, it leads to a major move, and we've just seen this cross 2 months ago, and so far we are up quite significantly. We're up, let's see, around 26, 30%, something like that from that cross. And, you know, all the evidence does indicate that we continue going upwards from that cross on a macro scale. So I don't think at this point, well, I certainly don't think at this point, I mean, we've literally only gone down from 31k to 28k after going up from 15.4. At this point, if you're calling for for new lows still, you are utterly delusional, because that is not enough of a chart breakdown to call for new lows at all. But, you know, I think that within days here, it certainly does stand to reason that we could be calling for 25.2k. I'm not willing to do it yet, because at this point in time, we just haven't seen the charting confirmation. But that's my opinion on Bitcoin. I hope that cleared up some stuff you might have been thinking about. It's just one of those situations we just have to wait and see. Unfortunately, we haven't really seen a clear breakdown at this point in time yet. And it's very hard to predict something like that, because, you know, what we've seen throughout, you know, time and time again in 2023 is the short-term TA being ignored in preference to the macro. And the macro still looks pristine and the short-term still looks rough. So it's like, well, should we trust the short term? Should we trust the macro? Because the macro has been more reliable this year already. So it's kind of hard to give you an exact opinion there. But I can certainly tell you this. I do still think, as I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks, I think that if you want to stack up on your Bitcoin even further, you should be waiting for the monthly candle close above the 21 EMA, the blue line here on the monthly chart. And that would be a monthly candle close above 27.7k at this point. And it's currently at 28.2k. We've got 9 days until the close. That is a level in which you'd be looking to stack up more Bitcoin. And if you want to, and if you're looking to de-risk Bitcoin, you're in validation zone for this trade, or this buy, whatever it may be, would be, you know, a breakdown below 25.2k on a time frame that we haven't yet determined, because we'd have to look at it over time. But that's the general level. We don't want to be re-entering that range there. At that point, we break down below that. 4-year cycle is in danger zone. So guys, thank you for watching. I want you to go ahead and check out the Big Crypto Academy's Become a Trader 10-unit course. If you're interested, if you want to learn how to trade, this is probably the place you can do it, and the probably place you should do it if you're interested in, you know, Wolf Crypto and Megwell Crypto, you like our analysis. We've developed this course last year. We released it in May, and you can check it out. It's a 10-unit course that focuses on how to teach people, teaching people how to go from basically someone with not much market experience at all, teaching you basic concepts, what even is Bitcoin, what even is a financial market, all the way through to how to find trades and advanced risk management and advanced profit taking, advanced chart analysis, everything you really need to know to become a proficient professional trader. So go ahead and check out the course if you are interested. I'll leave the link in the description below. And finally, guys, the VIP group on Telegram. I post altcoin trading signals sub-daily on Telegram. We've had a great start to Q2. We release our results every quarter, and we've released our Q1 results and Q4 results for 2022 before. You can go check them out. All of that information will be in the description below. But if you're interested in that, it's 100 USD for 3 months. We've just had a VIP sale, and the first trade out of the VIP sale was a 510% gain. So it was great stuff. And again, check that out if you're interested. I'll leave the links in the description below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow for another update on Bitcoin. Cheers.